I'm here today with Lone Thought Nothings. Welcome to the Rich Myers podcast show. What's up?
Excited to be here, Rich. I appreciate you having me.
Okay. I listened to your track, The Wall.
Yes, sir.
It was awesome. And what influenced it?
So there's a couple things that actually kind of influenced that one, and I've got that right here. This is the old journal that it came in. So The Wall, the story behind it was actually two separate poems that I wrote back when I was in college. And at the time of writing it, it wasn't really about any one in particular. It was more kind of a hope to find somebody that makes me realize that. If I can, I'll just share the actual poems themselves and then tell you kind of how I came to combine them.
Okay.
So this was wrote June 15th, 2014, so I was my second year of college. It's solid as rock and 10 feet high, littered with trenches and tripwire mines, guards on watch keeping them at bay, and dogs waiting to attack merely if I say. Some may have gotten by, though few and far between. The defenses grow stronger after every silent scream. This houses everything I keep trapped inside. It seems as though I'm running out of places to hide. Behind each armament lies a battle scar, a trail of blood from a shrapnel shard. To the farthest corner I retreat. The darkest place of solitude can't be beat. And that one kind of stuck just for a while as is. About a month later, I wrote The Wall Comes Down. The solid foundation rumbles. An explosion at the base causes towers to crumble. Like a house of cards, it all comes down. Broken stone and shrapnel cover the ground. As a clear path is laid out before, a shattered tile and eroded floor. As the fire flickers and smoke begins to clear, I stand in what remains of my shattered fears. A silhouette walks through and comes into view. I realize that the wall was never there for you. So the theme, or kind of the theory behind, I guess the story behind it, is that at the time of writing it, I pretty much gave up on any pursuit for relationships. I didn't care anymore. I put walls up and I shut people out. And in the sense of every armament was basically each time something didn't go to plan or I was burned, scorned, whatever you want to refer to it as, I became more and more resilient to it. I started to just not care. And then the whole The Wall Comes Down was like maybe a hope that somebody later in life it will make me realize what it's like, to not have those walls up or to not have them at all to begin with. And so there's a strong connection my wife and I have with that song now, to where it's like, I feel this is you. You were the person in my life that I don't feel I ever had those walls up for. And then further down the line, when I eventually, I learned how to write or use these programs that can generate this into music with these AI creation tools, it developed into something incredibly powerful. And so that's basically the story of the creation of The Wall.
Okay. Let's take a listen.
Okay.
Through points in my past, I feel I've been alone. No partner or life where I could call it home. I stopped questioning why I don't wanna try. I'm sick of betrayal and the constant lies. Stay out of my life, I don't wanna fight. Believe me, I'm not the one you want tonight. I've put walls up over years, rejection a constant fear. I don't wanna hurt you, please save your tears. It's solid as rock and 10 feet high, littered with trenches and tripwire mines. Guards on watch, keeping them at bay. Dogs on attack, simply if I say. Some may have gotten by, though few and far between. The defenses grow stronger after every silent scream. I won't let you in, so leave it be. Why must you be so persistent with me? As you kneel, walking closer, right through my howitzer and mortars. Nothing seems to keep you away. walls up over years, rejection a constant fear. Some may have gotten by, though few and far between. The defenses grow stronger after every silent scream. I won't let you in, so leave it be. Why must you be so persistent with me? As the fire flickers and smoke begins to clear, I lay surrounded in what remains of my shattered fears. A silhouette walks through, it comes into view. I realize that the wall was never there for you. We stand face to face, you stand forward, I step back in a corner. I can't go any further, you reach for my hand, I drop to my knees defeated. I finally surrender. I look up and you smile back, I accept the embrace of another.
I think that song was an awesome song. I've been
I greatly appreciate it.
I've been promoting it for about a week now, and it's almost got about 300 views.
Yeah, I saw that. That's awesome compared to when I put it out myself. No, it's been doing well, far better than it did on when I released it. I think it's been out for about 5 months when I put it out, and I think we're at like maybe 70 views, something like that. So it's I'm working on getting the exposure and promotion side of things down, but for the most part, I'm word of mouth at the moment.
Okay.
I'm just kind of telling friends and family, and with the releases on YouTube through Lander and things of that nature, the streams are getting through.
Okay. Can you tell me about the upcoming songs, concerts, and what's next?
Okay. Well, the one thing I guess I'll highlight here with the whole, I guess, AI music, if you want to refer to it as that, is, I don't claim to be a musician. I know that's a very loosely used term a very, I'll say boldly used term, I should say. There's a lot that goes into that. There's a lot of work and respect that goes into that, to where, musicians will, learn an instrument or vocals, or, I don't think I was ever blessed with an ability to sing or an ability to play an instrument very well. But when I started to discover these programs that can create music from, essentially, this is poetry, and this is, at one point in time, this just all sat in a book, and I never thought I'd pursue it further. But with these creation tools, it's just a great way to immortalize it. Presently, I do have a lot of other tracks that I have out now. I've got 11 or 12, I believe, that are actually released. Presently, I've got about 40 or so that are kind of in some degree of production, that are from other poems or other means of creating. If I have started writing just various topics, I've noticed a lot of things that I can focus on is if it's a word that can have multiple meanings. Take my song Tailspin, for example. Tailspin was focusing on like a mental spiral, but comparing it to an aerial dogfight. And comparing those two, I was able to combine them into something kind of unique. We can dive into that one another time, possibly. But right now, I think the next one I'm going to be releasing is going to be called. It's either going to be. Oh, I'm sorry, I got several that are in the works. I'm not 100% certain which one. Right now, I might be going one called Against the Grain. And that one was actually a poem I wrote kind of about growing up in life and focusing on, all throughout high school, we're told, you have to go to school. Like you go to school, you go to college, and eventually someday you'll wear a suit. And if you follow that path of success, you will be successful. Deviating from that path will result in failure. And so a snippet of that poem goes, take this path, there is no other choice, your destiny lies ahead. Do as those before you have done, and do not question what I've said. Go with the grain, it's soft and smooth, worn to the point of an incline. Go to school, go to college, wear that suit, and keep your head in line. Now, I do have an established song of that one, but it focuses on essentially it focuses on the idea that, you know, you can take the path less traveled. You can do your own thing in life and still find happiness, success, and a prosperous future. Opposed to what I was taught in school all the way through high school was, you know, go to college, go to college, go to college. And while I benefited from that myself, for some they don't. For some, people do better with a trade job. Some do better with industry, with retail, you know, things of that nature. So it's not a thing that's for everybody, but it can be so deeply ingrained into us. It's something that I feel kind of passionate about. You know, embrace what makes you happy. As far as future releases, that would be one of them. I do have plenty more coming along the line. I've got one that could be potentially for like an album structure, actually. One of the things with Suno, these programs, Suno is the primary one that I use, is you can create personas. And a persona is, after you create a song, you can save that style. You can save the vocal style and the instrumentals and basically the whole style of the song, to where if you make another song, you know, you input another poem in song structure, it will sound nearly identical, to the point that you could play track 1, 2, and 3 all the way through, you know, to 10, 12, however long you want to run, but it's going to sound like an actual album. So right now I've got about 6 tracks towards one of those that I'm working on at the moment, but I'm leaning towards Against the Grain might be my next one to release. Ultimate, like, future plans, I would love to eventually release either physical CDs or digital albums. And then at the same time, because all this started as poetry, I would personally love to be able to re-explore these as poetry. They all started as poems that expanded greatly because of the song structure, and now I would love to try to publish. I would absolutely love to have a published poetry book. And then if I can pursue that, it would be kind of a triple media experience. I would have the poems, I would have the music, and I'd have the story behind the poems as to what led to the music's creation.
Yeah, all you need is a movie.
But, you know, hey, opportunities are out there. I'm looking.
Where can people go and see your videos, music, and events?
Right now, nothing as far as events goes. It's primarily just the YouTube the streaming platforms. So I do have my music all released through the Lander platform, and networks that Lander supports are YouTube directly. They do Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, Deezer. I'm trying to think of all the other ones. They have a very wide spectrum, but pretty much if you can stream music on it, I should be on there at this point in time.
Okay. Well, thanks for being on the show today. I really enjoyed having you.
I greatly appreciate it, Richard.